We are.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm going to persuade you to take Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Does anybody in this room know what it is?
Heard of it.
Okay.
Heard of it.
We'll start here. So, Greg, do you know what it is?
Yeah, it's like submission fighting almost.
Okay, so you're on the right track. It's, martial arts. For me, it's a hobby. It's a way of life. It's a passion. I've been doing it the last 4.5 years. I can't imagine not doing it, and I got all my friends to try it. So let's go into this. All right, so what is BJJ? Okay. What can happen if you don't practice? We'll introduce the villain, being obesity, and the benefits of practicing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'll show you, some pictures. I'll show you the positive effects and the people that it's influenced and the things of that nature. So let's go into an interpretation. I have a little video clip here, which you may or hopefully find interesting. That's myself.
I'm going to go over a couple self-defense techniques that you might find common in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So let's begin. So I made some mistakes, and I'm in a bad situation. The guy has I'm in a closed hook, which is a position you'll see a lot in Jiu-Jitsu. Self-defense and sport. So I'm going to be a little offensive here. So the first thing I'm going to do is grip here, post my foot, and go forward on my bar. Right? So our partner defends the bar. He's able to get his arm out. So now I hip out and I go for a shoulder lock. But he's able to posture back into me, and I come up and I transition for a triangle choke. Those are 3 submissions that you can win and possibly get out of the bad situation from your back. So hopefully you enjoy the rest of the presentation. Thank you.
All right, so that was my interpretation of Jiu-Jitsu. It's a pretty complicated sport. That position was called closed guard. There's numerous types of positions. Jiu-Jitsu is based, as Greg said, it's kind of like submissions. If I had to describe it to somebody in a short scenario, it'll be a combination of wrestling and judo. So hopefully that gives you a little background as to what it is. There's no punching or anything in this martial art. So what is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or BJJ is a short symbol for it. So it's a martial art. It started in 1914. A man from Japan came to Brazil, and he showed a little judo to 2 boys, Helio and Carlos Gracie. And Helio was a sickly boy, and his brother would teach classes, and he couldn't participate. So he wanted to develop a system that was good for a small, human being that can defend themselves in situations. And it's become very popular in the United States the last 25 years. And all professional mixed martial artists have to know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in order to be successful. As I mentioned, so it is a combat sport. Mixed martial arts do need to know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and it is self-defense. As I mentioned earlier, it focuses on grappling. It's not, a striking-based martial art. And it was founded in 1914 by Helio and Carlos Gracie. So there is direct lineage, and you kind of, when you train, want to follow in that lineage. And this is the triangle. It's very symbolic. This happens to be one of the associations that I'm currently with when training. Okay, so let's introduce the villain. So what could possibly happen if you don't train Jiu-Jitsu? And as mentioned in previous presentations tonight, obesity is a huge problem in the United States, and it has been for the last 40 years or so. If you had a short synopsis by just looking at these 2 graphs, this one is for men and women, and this one over here is for teens. So as you can see, it starts from 1960, and it steadily increases. Its peak the last couple of years has been pretty stable, but there's a massive increase. And over here for the kids, a little harder to see, but it still has been increasing. So obesity has been traditionally a problem within the United States over the last 40 years or so. Intriguing obesity facts, right? So how is obesity measured? It's by body mass index. So you guys probably know BMI is a correlation between your height and your weight. So overweight is 25 to 30 BMI. If you're over 30, you're considered obese. obesity is very expensive. In the United States, 20% of kids are obese, and it costs $19,000 more in medical costs than normal weight children. And that's just going to doctors and prescriptions. That doesn't include, time being idle, missing school, and things of that nature. In 40 years, actually a little less than 40 years, obesity increased by over 50%. As you can see, the upward trend from previous slides. And it's responsible for about 10% of deaths in America. It can lead to heart disease, diabetes, along with, arthritis, failure to kidney stones, cancer. There's just a smorgasbord of unfortunate events that can happen if you're obese. So, does it work? Here's the two-shot, right? So this is one you can see, he's a white belt. It's the first week he started. Took a picture, this is the coach at my school that I train at. And here's a before and after picture. He lost 70 pounds in 1 year. And this is from him training jiu-jitsu 3 days a week. His diet's an average diet, he eats a lot of vegetarian foods and things like that. But he still drinks soda, just goes out on the weekends. So a regular diet, trains 3 days a week, he's not there 5 days a week, hour and a half sessions. So he feels great. He's back to his old college weight. He's 33 years old now, and he feels better than he did, years ago. So jiu-jitsu does work. So why would you practice jiu-jitsu, right? So it's a way of life. As I mentioned, I've been doing it 4.5 years. I got all of my friends to join me. The coaches promote healthy eating. They encourage the kids to eat fruits and vegetables. They give them assignments. Guys, eat this amount of fruits this week. Come back and tell me what you did. Tell me what you ate, right? So that, they're very good as far as encouraging. It's not just about showing up on the mats. It's also, the person that you're on the mats reflects who you are off the mats. Are you the person that's helping the new white belt? Are you helping the new kid? Are you being a good partner? Are you showing them and teaching them things? So it brings a lot of positive aspects to your personality. Obviously, self-defense is a big factor. There's been a lot of bullying in schools nowadays, so it's always good for kids to know how to protect themselves in case, a situation, God forbid, happens. Self-confidence. So, if you're losing weight, you're eating healthy, you're feeling better, you're feeling more lively, you're going to feel better, you're going to walk around better, and, you're going to have less to worry about. And it's a great workout. As you saw from the previous slide with Tushar, you can lose a significant amount of weight. You burn a ton of calories. The class is an hour, and then there's half hour of Randori, which is live training, which is optional, but, I recommend to do that. So it's a very good workout. The future. So this is what will happen if your kids practice jiu-jitsu, right? Look at all these guys. Look at their little smiley faces. Everybody's having a good time. All their friends are doing it. The kids are just having a great time. They're learning stuff. They're there with all their friends. Some of them compete, and they enjoy competing. It's just a great way of life. The conclusion. Why sign up? Well, as we had discussed, there's many positive aspects. So jiu-jitsu, healthy diet, a way of life, self-defense, you'll feel better, self-confidence. There's a lot of reasons why one should do Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Where can I sign up? So this is just a global map of Gracie Barra, which is a large Brazilian jiu-jitsu chain in schools. And the point of this is that it's global. You can literally Google search Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and find a school probably within half an hour of where you're at. I mean, you can see, obviously, like in Brazil, but in the United States, and even in Europe, there's just a ton of schools. It's very easy, very accessible. Just go into Google, type it in, you'll find a good school. And here's the two most influential pictures, I would say, for me in my jiu-jitsu life. This one is me with my two best friends who both joined. And this is Frankie Edgar, who you can see tonight at 10 p.m. on TV. He's on TV, yes, he's that famous. He's the former UFC champion. And here I got my purple belt from Ricardo Almeida, who is also on TV, and he's a professional competitor, judge, and just an overall great guy. So thank you very much. Sign up right now.